colleagues everywhere. Happiness. Good health. Friendship. Long life. Skal. Please welcome the GM of Holiday Inn Pattaya, please.
Okay, tonight we're at the fabulous new tower, the executive tower at the Holiday Inn, and it's time for Skal Pattaya, well, Skal Pattaya and East Thailand, which is a monthly networking event. Skal is all about tourism, organisations that rely on tourism, whether your business is in graphic design, travel agents, but more often than not, hospitality. Joining me now is a new face to the hospitality sector in Pattaya. She's been here for about 6 months. I've been dying to get an interview with her. She is the general manager of the Holiday Inn. It's Kate Gerrits. Kate, good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good. Well, you can speak. It's a very long intro. Right. No, Kate. Kate, it's very nice to see you. And tonight you've given us a tour of this fabulous new building. It's really, this is, Holiday Inn's now complete here in Pattaya.
Correct. Yes. You know, we've added another 200 rooms, so we now have 567 rooms across 2 towers, and as I said before this evening, we've taken all the things that our guests love about our current Bay Tower, and we've added them into the executive tower, and we just added some extra things. So things like this amazing concept meeting space that we're in this evening, beautiful auditorium, industrial feel. Pays homage to the fact that we're surrounded by manufacturing and industry in Pattaya. And then to top it off, we've got a beautiful executive club up on the 25th floor.
Well, we had a look at the executive club, which is fantastic, and the views are amazing. But also from the, and I'm going to get the name wrong, but where your swimming pools are, what area do you call it?
Level 6 is where we've got our East Coast Kitchen, which is our all-day dining restaurant. So it doubles as 2 things. It's all-day dining in the sense that it's traditional breakfast and lunch, and then at dinner it turns into a marketplace. So where guests can choose their ingredients for their noodles or for their pasta or for their, choose your meat, whether it's the steak or the fish or whatever it might be. So a little bit more interactive than our normal restaurant that's in the Bay Tower. Yeah.
But again, the views are exceptional.
Views are stunning.
Which is kind of incredible that you've got this tower is behind the other one, but you've got great views.
We're middle of the block, right? So we've got the Bay Tower, which is at the front of the block, and then we're right behind. Again, it comes down to owners and designers, and both towers are designed very, very similar, where there's rooms off either side of the corridor. Balconies are angled to take in the view, and literally you do get a view from every single room, and you can see the ocean from every balcony. It's very nice.
So you've now got in excess of 500 rooms.
Yes.
How is business at the moment? Because we're filming this in the quiet part.
This is traditional low season, but of course topped off by the fact that we had we're under military law, and we had a coup at the end of and curfews and so forth at the end of May. Of course, that has hurt our international market, and I think there's no operator in town that wouldn't say that. But Thailand's resilient, and amazingly so. I've come from a market that is just not anywhere near that, and it's incredible to see that. Yes, we took a hit certainly throughout the course of June, but I can see some recovery. I can see that those international markets are starting to understand that it's peaceful in Thailand. We haven't had protesting for many weeks now, and life is good. So I can see that we've turned the corner. How much we've recovered varies across different markets, but certainly it's improving.
Well, I'm sure it is going to improve, and as you said, and you're not the first to say it, Thailand is very resilient. It always has this ability to bounce back, and it's been through many far worse things. I moved here the month after the tsunami, and the people fall in love with Thailand. and people love it. This is a great night for us tonight here for Skal, and also to see your facilities. And I have to say, the auditorium, well, there's just nothing like that in Padilla. I think that you will attract so many, not just businesses, because it's not just a meeting space. It could be it could almost be a performance space.
Performance, it's lecture, it's presentations. It's a really unusual space, and I certainly haven't worked in a hotel that has one. And again, it's just something different to be able to have in your space and a point of difference. And tonight it was, I guess, unique to make everyone come into the theatre or the lecture sort of style to listen to tonight. But it was really an opportunity to showcase an amazing space and how you can actually really, I guess, utilize a space. So you can have food and beverage here behind us in a informal social aspect. You can have formal meeting rooms over this side and a lecture theatre. So you really have opportunity to utilize space and to do something different. It's nice.
Well, it's a great idea, and of course meetings is something that's it's becoming a real part of the growing market here in Padilla, not just because of the companies on the Eastern Seaboard, but there's organizations based in Bangkok who want to come down here, want to take their team away for the weekend by the beach and have a great time. Okay, now talking about the beaches, what will some of your team and your colleagues from Bangkok be doing a week from now? Well, 7 days, 8 days.
It was. I mean, I was sitting here tonight listening to Koto talking about corporate responsibility, and only a few weeks ago we organised for our food and beverage team from our corporate office. They're coming down next week to meet, which is quite common in the sense that they're having a meeting outside of Bangkok in one of our hotels, and they wanted to do something corporate responsibility. And our suggestion was, let's clean up our beach in front of the hotel. So it tied in perfectly with this evening, and I think it's a great opportunity because my food and beverage team will be there as well. And I would really like Koto to be able to attend and similarly talk as he did tonight, so people really understand why we're actually cleaning up the beach. And I hope that it can be something that's far more regular.
We hope so as well. Well, we'll definitely be there to give you a little bit of support and to film it and publicise it, obviously for the public here in Padilla. As Kate says, she referred to Koto, which is the keeper of the ocean, who's an old friend of Padilla Mail and PMTV. His birth name was Jerry Erasmus, but he just prefers Koto. So let's speak to Koto and see what he's been speaking to the members of Skal, Padilla and East Thailand here tonight at the Executive Tower of the Holiday Inn. Stay tuned. Thank you, Kate. Thank you very much. Privileges for me being part of Skal is that I get to introduce the guest speakers. Tonight the guest speaker is an old friend, a guy I interviewed many years ago. It's silly o'clock in the morning at Ocean Marina. He doesn't like being called Jerry Erasmus. That man, who was an alcoholic and a drug addict, died many years ago. It is Koto, the keeper of the ocean. Koto, how are you, mate?
Wonderful, wonderful. Good. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me come here and be able to talk to the people and share my outlooks and my views.
Well, you know, tonight when you were speaking to these the people, our guests, who are basically, most of them are food and beverage general managers of hotels, you could see that they were really listening to what you were saying, and they're all nodding. You know, you've got the audience when they're you're doing it now, right? when they're nodding and they're going, yeah, that's right. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So tonight, give us a snapshot of what you were talking to them about.
Well, I was basically asking them to start being responsible for the beaches in which their guests come and stay at the hotels, to remove the dangers, to make it safe for the children, the wildlife, the waterways. Not waiting for somebody else to do it. We have to be the ones that step up and make this difference.
Okay, so I mean, you know, somebody was saying to you, well, you know, but until City Hall does this, City Hall does that. But what you're saying is, well, they'll do it when they do it. But we can do something about it now.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Set examples yourself. Stand up and be acknowledged. If they see Falungs out there reaching out and doing much more than Pattaya City Hall is doing or whatever, it might make them start to make some changes themselves.
Okay. Now, you have been cleaning the beaches in Pattaya and predominantly Jomtien for the last 13 years, 7 days a week. You're on the beach at what time in the morning?
I'm up at 5:30. I'm on the beach 6:30. I don't punch a clock. I just you know. I also did many years at Sadhip at Hatnang Rang Beach because I was going to my doctor there, and I'd give my blood at 8 in the morning, have an appointment at 12. So for 4 hours, I'd clean that beach, put up posters, and do a little swimming.
Okay. Now I want you to do something for me. I want you to empty your pockets. Start with this one here. What have you got in?
I didn't bring that much with me tonight because I didn't want to bulge. But the right hand is dog food.
Yeah.
And the left hand is candy for people like maybe this gentleman here.
Yeah. Give one to the cameraman. Okay. We've got to try and get him to keep working here.
It's bringing smiles and wags.
Thank you. I'm glad you gave me that another dog food. So tonight was about cleaning the beaches, but it's important to tell people you're feeding how many dogs every day?
I feed approximately 100 dogs a day. I go through 20 kilos of dog food, 8 gallons of water, and several packages of these treats. I also, when the donations are big enough, I mix canned food in with their dry food.
Okay.
And I take some to the vet to get neutered when I can, or to be repaired if they've been hit by a car. I honestly feel a dog that has water and food in his belly is a lot safer to be around than a dog that's starving. So I plan on feeding them. Life is one day at a time, especially with these animals, and making each day a little bit better for them until something better can happen.
Well, you're absolutely. I remember the last interview that we did in Jomtien Beach. Don't you go away, I'm getting you in a moment, with about the safety boys. And when we were there, I'm not really a dog person. It's just I have a slight aversion to them, so I get a little bit scared. And I always think the dogs can feel that. But when we were there, I mean, you probably had about 6 dogs around your feet, which the camera couldn't even see. But they were just loving. You're Father Christmas to them.
I am surprised at the distance they will see me and come running. Maybe it's my bad scent from picking up garbage all day. but they find me wherever I go. They find me.
All right. Now, you said you touched on donations. You rely heavily on donations, whether it's money or food and such like.
Well, I rely totally on donations. Other than the cleaning the beach, that doesn't take any money. That just takes it back. But for feeding the dogs, helping some homeless people or poor people that need antibiotics, that have infections or need a Band-Aid and their wound fixed, I carry a first aid kit, which I'm refilling constantly. And those things need donation. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the money. If it can be first aid equipment, if it can be dog food, or other things that I clean used clothes for these people is wonderful.
Okay. Now, there's a gentleman behind us eating some ice cream, which I'm going to call him across. Could you come across, please, Roberto? This is your good friend, Roberto. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Roberto Novoa.
And you're a good friend of Kodo's, and you've been working together for the last few years, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a pleasure. I met this young man at Surf Kitchen one day. We both remember that day very, very fondly. And I sat across the table during breakfast, and we talked about giving back and how important it was to give back. And within 10 minutes, we were both crying.
Well, he is an inspirational guy, and tonight you've inspired, I'm sure, the members of Skal here. And just before we did the interview, somebody offered to give you some dog food, I believe.
Yes, I've been offered a pallet of dog food, which will feed for 40 days. It'll feed them. I just need to find a location that's high enough off the ground and where rats don't want to be.
Well, I guess that's important. There's no point in giving something if it can be.
In my place. You can put it in my place.
You're getting roped in here. Well, listen, guys, it's great work that you're doing, And it's always a pleasure to meet you and to interview you. But tonight, I have to say, you're 76 years old. You spoke very well. I mean, these are all the top GMs around town, and you were there. You were confident, kept it going. So well done to you. I mean, it's not. I know that's not your job. Your job is to be out there on the beach, but you did a hell of a job. So well done to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, guys. It's been great. Skal will be back again next month. We don't know when and we don't know where as of yet, but the details will be posted on the Facebook site, which is on the screen now, and of course in the Paddy Mail. This is Paul for PMTV with Koto and Roberto. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.